Hey guys, welcome to another top 10 list, and welcome to my top 10 favorite movies of the last decade from 2010 to 2019. Yep, I've been meaning, this is a much overdue list. I know it's 2023 now, but, I was gonna get this list done. I started YouTube last year, so, and I should have done it. Probably should have been my very first video. But if I started YouTube a lot earlier, this video would have been done a lot earlier. But yeah, this was a hard list to do. I'm now working on my favorite movies from each decade. I'm going to be doing the 2000s next, and I'll be doing the 1990s next, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, maybe possibly 40s. I don't know for sure. 30s, I don't know on those. But I'll definitely be going all the way to the 1950s. But yeah, I'll be doing a series of that, of each decade to 2000, to all the way to my top 100 favorite movies of all time. Yeah, I'll be doing a series of my favorite movies. So yeah, I'm gonna start with the 2010s. And so, yeah, let's get started. And some honorable mentions are
Blade Runner 2049, A Star is Born, Django Unchained, Star Wars The Force Awakens, Captain America Civil War, X-Men Days of Future Past, Your Name, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and Avengers Infinity War. All really, really great movies. Just couldn't make the top 10 list, but let's get started with number 10. And at number 10 is Logan.
Logan was awesome. Definitely one of the best superhero movies I've seen, and definitely one of the best superhero movies of the 2010s. It was so awesome. It was one of the most violent movies I've ever seen, and this pretty much got rid of me being squeamish. I mean, I'm a little squeamish up to this day, but this movie got rid of me being super squeamish. It was so incredible. It was amazing. I loved Logan. One of the best superhero movies I've ever seen, and definitely the best movie in the X-Men universe. It got sad too, and I've seen it twice, and as much as I've loved this movie, I don't know if I could watch it again. Maybe I'd watch it again, but I just can't watch it so many times like I've done with other superhero movies, because it's so hard to watch, and it's so sad too, and it's very, very hard to watch, and it's very gruesome, and but it's still incredible. I love this movie. It's really, really great. Very well made movie, and one of the best superhero movies. And Hugh Jackman, of course, is awesome in this movie, and it was so really, really great.
At number 9 is Joker.
Joker was really, really great. Definitely one of the best movies of 2019. Yep, this movie came out in 2019, and 2019 was probably the best year of the 2010s for film. And Joker was incredible. I loved Joker, and Joker. I've talked about this movie quite a bit, and yeah, it's so good. I loved Joker, and it had really, really good acting, and it had incredible acting. Joaquin Phoenix was so awesome as the Joker, and it really is a realistic movie, and he's so good in this movie, and I like Robert De Niro in this movie too, and yeah, Joker is a really, really great movie. It had awesome cinematography as well. Great acting, great cinematography, and really good story and good pacing. And it's so good. It had everyone in this movie so good, and it's a very hard movie to watch, and it's probably the best origin for the Joker. It's so good. I love this movie. Joaquin Phoenix is so good as Arthur Fleck, and aka the Joker, and so yeah. And the first R movie to make $1 billion, as it deserved. And yeah, Joker's so good.
At number 8 is The Dark Knight Rises.
The Dark Knight Rises. I actually watched all three, the Dark Knight trilogy, just recently. I saw all three of them in theaters, actually. All three of them in theaters and in one day. And yeah, The Dark Knight Rises is awesome. I loved all three of the Batman Dark Knight movies. They're so good. And The Dark Knight Rises is great. It's right in the middle of Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. And yeah, right in the middle of the two. I really love this movie a lot. It had a perfect conclusion. I love Bane. Tom Hardy as Bane. I like Anne Hathaway as Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman. And Christian Bale did a really good performance. Maybe the best performance of Christian Bale in this entire trilogy, maybe. Might be the best performance either in The Dark Knight or this movie. He's so good in this movie. And yeah, it got very dark and emotional too. And really good action scenes. Loved the sewer fight scene with him and Bane. The football scene was awesome too. And I love the opening scene with the plane. It was awesome, and the final battle was great too. And yeah, The Dark Knight Rises is definitely one of the best third installments to movies. And so, yeah.
At number 7 is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 was awesome. I loved this movie. It was so good. I love the final I love the final battle with Harry and Voldemort. That was epic. And one of my favorite scenes in movie history is the reveal of Snape. That's one of my favorite scenes in movie history. It's so awesome. Snape shines in this movie, and everyone shines in this movie. It's awesome. This probably had the best. This Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2 had the best musical score in the Harry Potter movies. I love the musical score in both movies. All of them had great musical score, but the two-parter, Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2, had incredible score. This movie was awesome. Definitely my favorite Harry Potter movie, and it's so good. I love this movie. It's great. And yeah, and the fact that it didn't get nominated for Best Picture is it's just insane. It's a bunch of bullshit. This movie should have gotten nominated for Best Picture. I don't know why the hell it didn't. And it should have been. And so, yeah, great movie. I love Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2.
At number 6 is Parasite.
Parasite was awesome. Definitely one of the best foreign movies. I loved Parasite. It had really good acting, and it was nominated for. It won for Best Picture as much as it deserved it, and it was so awesome. I loved this movie. It was very brutal too. It was hard to watch, and it was so hard to watch, and it was so good though. Definitely one of the best foreign. Well, I haven't seen a lot of foreign movies, but this is one of the best foreign movies. I love this movie. It's great. Parasite is incredible, and if you haven't seen any foreign movies, this might be a good one to start with. This is a good foreign movie. I love this movie. It's a really, really awesome movie. Love Parasite.
At number 5 is Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3. I loved Toy Story 3. Definitely one of the best third installments to movies. The animation, out of all four of the movies, I think this one had the best animation. I loved the animation in this movie. It was beautiful. And it was it got so emotional too. Toy Story 3 was so awesome. And it had a perfect conclusion. And I didn't think we ever needed a fourth one, but Toy Story 4 was good. It was a good movie, but not as good as the three others. This one was so awesome. This one had the true ending, and this one had a perfect ending. And I love the story, and it's so great. I love the plot to this movie, and the animation is beautiful, and I love this movie. I watched this movie a lot when I was a kid. This was my favorite movie in the Toy Story franchise. And when I saw the Toy Story trilogy when I was a kid, this was definitely my favorite. But I think the first one's probably my favorite. Either this one or the first one. They're both so good. I love Toy Story 3. It's so great and so emotional too. Had a perfect conclusion. Definitely one of the best third installments to movies.
At number 4 is Interstellar.
Stellar. Oh my god, this movie was so awesome. I loved Interstellar. Matthew McConaughey was so good in this movie. And I really loved the story to this movie. And the musical score, Hans Zimmer's musical score in this movie was so awesome. I have to say, this is probably my favorite musical score in a movie. I loved the musical score to this movie. And I loved the story. This movie this movie was very sad. Very sad movie. But definitely the most emotional Christopher Nolan movie. But this movie was so awesome. And so I love the atmosphere to this movie. Like the visuals and cinematography were incredible. The story was awesome. Matthew McConaughey is great in this movie. And so is Michael Caine, Anne Hathaway. And I do like Topher Grace in this movie too. And this movie had really good acting. And it's so good. And the plot and the story is amazing. I loved Interstellar. It was a very, very emotional movie. This is one of Christopher Nolan's best movies. I love this movie. I talked about it in my tier ranking of the Christopher Nolan movies. And yeah, I love this movie. It's great.
At number 3 is Whiplash.
Whiplash was awesome. I loved Whiplash. Whiplash had really awesome acting. I loved Whiplash. Miles Teller was so good in this movie. J.K. Simmons stole the entire movie. And if you thought J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man trilogy was rude and a jerk, oh my god, Terrence Fletcher in this movie is like J. Jonah Jameson, but on steroids. This guy is like 30 times worse than J. Jonah Jameson. J. Jonah Jameson is like the kindest man. J. Jonah Jameson is like a saint compared to Terrence Fletcher. This guy is such an asshole in this movie. Not my fucking tempo! Oh my god, he is so great in this movie. Oh my god. Are you a rusher? Or are you a dragger? Or are you gonna be on my fucking time? He's such an asshole in this movie. But he's so amazing in this movie. His performance was awesome. And it got hard to watch too. It had really great drumming, great music, great acting, and it had really great acting. And I know it had a lot of yelling in this movie too, but it was so amazing. I loved it. The jazz music was awesome. If you love jazz music, if you love great acting, and if you love really great music, then this is definitely a great movie for you to watch. Really great cinematography. And yeah, I loved Whiplash. It was a really great movie.
At number 2 is Avengers Endgame.
Avengers Endgame. Oh my god, this is the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. It's my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. And yeah, this movie was so awesome. I love this movie. And the action scenes were great. The musical score is great. You know I love this movie. I've talked a lot about this in my on my channel. If you know my channel, you know I love Avengers Endgame. It's awesome. And this movie should have ended in the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, along with Spider-Man Far From Home and No Way Home. All the other movies that's been made were very unnecessary. But this movie, some of them were good, but were unnecessary. But this movie should have ended along with Spider-Man Far From Home and No Way Home. This had a perfect ending. I loved this movie. It was incredible. I loved this movie. It had one of my favorite superhero movies. Probably my second favorite superhero movie, along with The Dark Knight, maybe. Or my third, along with Across the Spider-Verse as well. Maybe in my top, maybe second or third favorite superhero movie. I love this movie. It's so awesome. The acting is killer in this movie. And that scene where everyone comes back, that's my favorite scene in movie history. I love this movie. It's phenomenal.
And my favorite movie of the 2010s is Inception.
Inception. Oh my god, this movie is incredible. I loved Inception. It had really, really good action scenes. A really, really well-made movie. And it's definitely Christopher Nolan's second best movie, along with The Dark Knight. I love this movie. It's so incredible. It had, I love the cast in this movie. Leonardo DiCaprio is so good in this movie. Ellen Page, Cillian Murphy, Michael Caine. Everyone is so great in this movie. I love Inception. And definitely a really, really great score. I love this movie. It's so awesome. And I love the gravity fight scene, and I also like the scene with, I love the scene, the Snow Mountain scene too. That scene was great, and everything is so great in this movie. This movie was awesome. This is definitely a really good Nolan movie. I love this movie, and it came out in 2010, and it remains the best movie of the entire decade. I loved this movie. It was incredible, and yeah, Inception was a solid masterpiece. So yeah, those are my top 10 favorite movies of the last decade, from 2010 to 2019. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me, did you agree with this list? If not, what's your favorite movie of the last decade? Comment below, let me know, and I will continue doing more of these. I will do my top 10 favorite movies of the 2000s, and I will do my favorite movies of the 2000s, 90s, and I'll continue doing my favorite movies of each decade. So what's your favorite movie of the 2010s? Let me know down in the comment section below. Comment below, let me know. And if you like this, please subscribe to my channel and hit that like. Alright, catch you later.